Hi, my name is Swati Wag, and I am the Science Outreach Librarian at Benedictine University. Today, I'm going to walk you through a live search on how to do a PICO search in CINAHL and also in PubMed. There is also a research guide on the topic under NRHL 5503, and it's on our website. As I'm doing the search, I will walk you through the basics, and then I will show you the PowerPoint that's attached in that research guide. And from there, you can look in the details later and how you need it. So right now, let's go to the live search. I'm going to the library's website, sharing my screen. And once I go there, I'm going to take this off. And then I'm going to account login, or this is where you'll be going to Benedictine University to look for the library's portal, which is here. Now, this part is important because I want you to go through the library's portal, because all of the subscriptions that we have that are full text will be available to you as PDF files when you do a search in the databases. And I click on the library, I go to the library, and these are the databases. And I told you where you can find the research guide. It's under courses and programs, and it's under NRHL 5503. So you can, all the information that you need to perform a search is here. And I'm just going to go live now and do the search in CINAHL first. They're going to be a keyword search, and there's also going to be subject heading search. Okay. If you look, and I'm also going to share with you now the PowerPoint that we have, and it will look like this. Go through it at your leisure. It's in the research guide. And if you go here, this is my topic: use of heel protection protocol and supine position surgical patients decreases the incidence of heel pressure ulcers. This is the question. Now, I have picked the keywords from there, that is heel protection protocol, supine surgical patients, and heel pressure ulcers. Okay. Now, this is the form that you will be using to write out your search. If you have this clear in your mind, then actually when you go into the database, you don't get confused. You can do the searches pretty easily. And here is an example of all the keywords that I put in there in the PICO format. Okay, and go through that. And here is something that you will see, that all the horizontal rows are or, and the vertical columns are and. Now, what do I mean by that? If you want to get some meaningful output from your search statements in the databases, you have to combine your keywords or your subject headings or any way you go into the database to look for information in, or is used for synonyms or for related terms, and is used when you want those particular keywords or subject headings. I'll talk about subject headings later, but just keep that in mind. The subject headings and the keywords, you want to arrange them in such a way by an and, so that the concepts appear in the title or the abstract or predominantly in the text. So it focuses more on the topic that you want to research. Okay, that's the only need for and. If you don't do that, it's going to look for one concept here, another concept there, and they won't be related. So that's something to remember and do. So now I'm also going to go now to my database that I was before, and I will leave this and go to academic databases is where it starts with. I am going to CINAHL. By this time, you must be aware of CINAHL, which is the Cumulative Index to Nursing and Allied Health Literature. And here I am. So once I go here, now remember, this is normal. I'm sure you have been through that. This is the screen you will see. Now, before you go further, right on the screen itself, you have to scroll down and look for any author is nurse. That's your stipulation. You want only articles written by nurses. So this will cover that part of your research. Then when I go up here, I'm going to put in my keywords right from there, okay? And one good thing in this database is as you put in your keywords, it will give you some suggestions of what to use. So let me look at surgical patients. And also remember that you can truncate. If you put an asterisk, it means it's surgical patient or surgical patients. But I'm not going to use that because I'm going to make use of the suggestions that they give you. Surgical patients, or see the or there, that means it's a synonym. Surgery or procedure or operation or operative patient. So this is what I'm going to use here, okay? The second one that we have is heel pressure ulcers, right? Ulcers. And I am not going to, or it also told me in another brief flash there that it is heel pressure injuries, right? So I'm going to put that in there. Okay. And the last one that I'm going to put is, you want to see how to prevent it and control it. That's part of your research. You want to see what methods are there to prevent pressure ulcers from forming in surgical patients. Okay. Now it said supine, but sometimes it's better to go broad term and then get more records and then sift through if there's something on supine or positioning a patient, something like that, and then you'll get more out of it, okay? Now, next one I'm going to do is prevention, and then it will already come as prevention or intervention or treatment or program, okay? So this is what I'm going to put here, okay? Now I'm going to search. When I search, it gives me only 4, right? So that's all there is in this database, and it looks pretty precise. So that's not bad. It goes from 2010 to 2018. So I'm going to go and say, I am going to look at only from 16 through 18, because 16 through 21 is the current 5 years, okay? Now here in this, there are 2 that I can find. Suppose I say, I want to look at this one. Now you see, this is a conference, so it's going to be only an abstract. So you won't have a full text for this. So there's no point in looking at it. Now this one is in China, so I don't want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, let me go back now. And then say I want it from 2013. Even though it's not within your range, I want to put those in because I'm going to do something else which you can do. Heel response to external pressure comes up, right? So I'm going to say, okay, this is something that I could use. And I'm going to look at and see if this is something relevant to me. And I can look at the full text because I said I want to look at the full text. And it will take me to Ovid, which is a full text database. You can look at it at your leisure. If you click on the PDF, it will be available to you, okay? So I'm not going to look at that now. I'm going back to my results list and just click on this without the text. And you see on the right-hand side here, find similar results. That's where I'm going to go. And it gives me about 4,241, okay? And now comes in all my filters, which I'm going to use to reduce the record set. So here I'm going to go and look at, this is from 61 to 22. We don't need that. So I'm going to look at here. and it is about 16. That's fine. And I get about 1,614, right? And then from there, once you get out of that search mode, you have to put in your nurse as author field here, right? So I'm going to do is click on this thing under the bar, which says show more, and it takes you to that first page. And then I'm going to say any author is nurse again. I'm going to put that as the limit and then do my search. And here you will get about 43, which is a good set, and it's current. So you can go with all these limiters. I reduced it from 4,000 to 43. So you can scroll down and look. The conference proceedings usually has only an abstract. So it might be useful to keep track of the person when they publish a paper in the journal, but not now for your need. Okay, this is a good one. You can look at it. And then it says time cited in this database is 1. And then when I click on this, it will sometimes tell me who has cited the paper. And that's another way to expand your research capability. And if you look at this PDF full text, you can look at the references at the end. And don't worry if it is something that is very old, because what I'm going to show you, this is a 1994 article. And then I can show you how to look for more information based on this. Suppose this is the one. I'm not going to look at that. Incidence of pressure ulcer within a national health service. Let me look at this one. It's 1994. It's pretty old, but I can look at it and see who has cited it. When I say cited, it means somebody went through the literature and found that this article was relevant to them between 1994 and 2021, and then they cited it as a reference in their paper. So with one article, you're going forward in time, right? From 1994 to 2021, you get more records which are more current. And then with these references that are all here, you're recycling your search backwards and forwards. So with one article, you can have an expanded search on the topic. Just remember that. And if you have any questions, you can always call me at 847-312-4845. Now from this, I'm going to move on to another topic, which is called subject searching, okay? Here, if you see on the side, on this topic that we looked at, major subject is heel ulcer prevention and control and protective devices utilization, right? That's what you were looking for. Now, there is a way to convert these keywords that we used into subject headings. Now, what is a subject heading? A subject heading is a way by which different people come to the search database with different keywords depending upon what they're thinking about, right? It's very subjective on your analysis of what it requires. So what the indexers at CINAHL have done is they have mapped each of the keywords that is there to one common heading called the subject heading. And in this instance, that is what we are going to look for. So in the same place, I am going back and I'm going to say subject headings, CINAHL subject headings. I'm going to click on that. And then my first topic was surgical patients, right? So I'm going to put surgical patients. And then I'm going to say browse. Okay. And in this, it tells me surgical patients, use surgical patients. So I'm going to click on that. Right now, you scroll down and you go to surgical patients and it's here. So magically, it will appear here as a term because that's what you're going. Don't worry about explode right now. There is nothing you can do about this surgical patients to explode it, but that's another if an example comes up, I will tell you what it is, okay? Right now, let's stick with this surgical patient is one. Then I go back, and then the next one I had was pressure ulcers, right? So I'm going to put heel pressure ulcers and see what I get. I'm going to say browse. And then it says heel pressure ulcer, use heel ulcer. So that is what I'm going to put. It's telling me what is the preferred term to use. So once I'm going there, I say, okay, this is what I want. And under heel pressure, right? And these are called subheadings. So that means if I look under and say prevention and control, I'm putting in my next concept, which is prevention and control. And I'm going to say an and, because we want both these concepts, heel pressure ulcers, prevention control, and surgical patients in my search. So then I'm going to say search databases, and I get 2, right? And then if I want, this is pretty good, 16 to 2018 are these pretty good. So you can look at it. So this becomes much more precise way of searching. Now, the next database I'm going to take you is called PubMed. Now, PubMed is the premier indexing abstracting source for medical literature. I know you are in nursing, but it's very related. And I'm going to show you how to limit your searches to just the nursing literature in PubMed using what they call medical subject headings. Now, remember that MESH, it's called MESH, medical subject headings. And once you know the medical subject heading, it is very easy to search in PubMed. So the same way now I'm going to my library homepage, and then I'm going to library, and then databases, and I'm going to go to PubMed. This is a free database by the government, but we want you to go through a library portal because all the articles that are free will be available to you. Otherwise, you get a prompt to say, pay $50, $35, and don't fall into the trap of paying for it, okay? Because you, as a student, have access to full text of all the subscriptions we subscribe to, okay? And we have thousands of these subscriptions. Now, in this case, I'm not going to do an advanced search here. I am going down and going to see something called mesh. And there is where I will put mesh subheadings. My first one, I put surgical patients already, I got nothing. The term surgery gave me something that I wanted, so I put surgery. You will have to go try it and see it, okay? But I already did search so many times that I know what words to put in there to get my subject heading. So then this is surgical procedures, operative. That is the term that medical subject headings uses, okay? So I'm going to look at it. And here are all, these are all called subheadings. I don't want to limit my search to subheadings because I don't know what is available. Once I get the records, I can limit it to by different, like here, by, I can do by nurse as author, and then I get very much little records. So this is where I will go, and then I will say, okay, add to search builder. Okay. The next one that I learned by going there was, if I put heel pressure ulcers, I don't get nothing. So I put heel, I find the subject heading for it, and then I'm going to look at that. And it is worthwhile for you to play with the words first and then search in there, okay? And then I'll say, and because I want both these terms, surgical procedures and the heel in my, be the focus of my articles. So this is where I'll put and here. The next place that I'm going to look, and the best part of this is you don't have to think of synonyms of what the subject term it might be under, because all the subject terms that appear for this topic are mapped to this one, the preferred term that the indexes at the medical library, National Library of Medicine have put it together. Okay, so Now let's go to another term that we want, pressure ulcers, right? This is what we want to avoid, right? And then we say, okay, search. And that is a term, pressure ulcers. We are not going to limit this to prevention and control. We're just going to say pressure ulcers and put it in there, okay? And then we are going to say, because we want everything that is done by a nurse, we have two choices. You can type in there, and nurse asterisk. It can be nurses, nursing, and then you put the square bracket and you put AD. AD means address field. If a nursing or a faculty or a nurse has done the research, it will appear in this search. And that's the reason I'm putting this. See the syntax, nurse asterisk AD, okay? You have to remember that everything is based upon the syntax. If you don't, then it will say 0. You don't get anything. So then I'm going to say, with all of this, I'm going to say search PubMed. And I get 4 results, right? So these are the ones from 2009 to 2021, okay? But that's fine. Remember I said with one article that you like, you can always come back in time and see if somebody has cited it. That's what we're going to do today. And the best part here is, suppose you like something, can pressure mapping, you know, let's look at this one. It's 2009, but that's okay. I'm going to look at it. And then here on the right-hand side, it will tell you cited by. That means who has cited this article now from 2009 to 2021, who has cited this article. And it also gives you mesh terms. So mesh terms tell you what are the terms that this is mainly about, okay? And if we have post-operative care, nursing, post-operative care methods, nursing assessment, all of this. So this seems like a likely candidate for our research, right? And here cited article, 2 people have cited it. Efficacy of a pressure sensing mattress cover. That is the kind of equipment that is needed to prevent pressure ulcers. So that is a good one. For surfaces, that is a good one too. For OR surfaces, this is one you can look at, to 2015, which is pretty 6 years. That's fine. You can look at it. And it's with full text from here. You can look at that. So that means like from 2009, we have come to 2015, and we know that these are much more recent ones, right? And then we look at similar articles. Similar articles will take you to the current time period, you know. So let's look, how many, is there anything in the current years? No. Similar articles, we can look at, see all similar articles and then see what is there, right? Now, we can also limit it by clinical trial, meta-analysis, or whatever you want. I've already done the 5 years over there, you know, so I don't need to do that again. And look at it. That's the way to go about doing your research. The other thing I wanted to show you is, as I was playing with the search words for the subject heading searches, I thought I should go and see if there's another way of doing this, right? So I'm doing the same thing. I'll go forward. And what I'll do is, in order to save time, in this search here, I'm going to go and look at clinical nursing practice, or clinical nursing, you can put, and then don't put that. And I can go to this medical subject heading term and then put clinical nursing research, because that is basically what you're looking for. So if you do your search with the thing and see if there is a mesh heading for it, and it shows that there is a mesh heading. So I'm going to take this and add it to here, you know, add to PubMed search builder, like, and add that one instead of nurse square brackets AD. And that means That concept of clinical nursing research will be included in the search, and you will get only nursing articles. Okay, that's another way to do it. I hope this has been helpful. Again, it's a complicated topic, but with practice, you will get it. Everybody struggles in the beginning, but you'll be fine. So but you need any help, don't hesitate to text me at 847-312-4845. And thank you and good luck. Bye.